Hello, I'm Citrus, and you're looking at the M1 Astray from the high-grade Gundam SEED Remaster line. This kit came out in 2012, and it retails for 1,400 yen, as you can see on the box there. Here's the size comparison to a Gundam marker. My girlfriend's brother got this for me for Christmas, and as a token of appreciation, I thought I would build this and review it as soon as I can, so that the video will be up before the new year starts. Those of you who remember the original high-grade SEED series from the early 2000s will probably remember them as a bunch of designs that had way too many colors, but not nearly enough parts to make it really happen. And as a result, these kits had to rely heavily on stickers to do most of the coloring work. Unfortunately, that still is kind of the case here, but not nearly as bad as it used to be. For example, the big stickers here are on the vents here and here, and it's the pieces that you might expect to be done in plastic on a modern high grade are not, like the black here. I painted these bits because it's sort of round, but the kit does include stickers for them, although it's not going to cover it up all the way, so it'll look a little bit weird. But generally, the part separation is much improved. Like, I could probably imagine a time when these little vents on the back would probably have been stickers. The clear seals that the kit comes with also do a lot to help the kit look more premium than it actually is. Helps you add a bit of detail. Although, referring to the manual here, the recommendations for where you put the stickers are actually quite sparse. So it's really up to you to use the stickers to the best of your ability and to make the kit really, really pop. Now, as for articulation, have a head swivel up here, which looks pretty good, even though you really only have one joint. The bottom joint moves a little bit, but not too much. Have a nice bit of movement in the shoulder. This is a very good ball joint that has a lot of range up and down on its own. The arm can come out this much altogether, and this much forward. Swivel, and a really nice double jointed bend, which I wasn't expecting to see here. Typical ball jointed wrist. And you have essentially just a swivel at the waist. There's a ball joint up here, but these two pieces that form the waist don't really give you too much room for moving like side to side or back and forth or anything like that unless you pull it up. You push it all the way down, you basically don't get much in any direction. The little skirts here can flip out, although it's not going to do much for you because the leg only comes out about that far. Have a little bit of a swivel, that's the full range of it, but you do have pretty good motion forwards and back. Double jointed knee. Glad to see that this bit here is filled in and not hollow. And you have a double jointed ankle. Swivel up here. And side to side. Not too much, but probably enough for you to be able to do some interesting poses. In the back has these swivels for these, and these are fixed. In my opinion, to really make this pop, you do need to do a little bit of painting. Just a black marker or black paint will do just fine, like the back of the vents will make them look really nice. Especially for this, I think it makes this up here, which is actually a gray piece, match a lot better to the bottom, and this piece in the middle, because the insides of these are going to be black because of the plastic, so it makes the sticker looks a lot less obvious. For accessories, you get some pretty standard fare, like these beam saber effect parts, SB6, so they're the short ones. You get a shield, which looks quite good actually once you've done up all of the stickers. These red bits are all foil seals, unfortunately, but they do contour to the shapes that they're supposed to go onto pretty well. You get some detail on the back, and there's this handle here which is just straight up molded in. Kind of strange. I would have imagined they would have just left this out or made it a separate piece, but there you go. The shield connector has two positions, on the side or in the back, and you also have this beam rifle with a trigger hand. There's no other gun for you to hold with it, so that's why I left the hand just on there. You also get this closed fist for the left hand, which looks quite nice. And you also get two of these. So this is some kind of sword, and it has this holster piece. I would have painted this, but the thing is, this needs to be entirely black. This piece down underneath needs to be red, and the handle needs to be gray. So that's three different colors, and as you can see, there's a lot of plastic rubbing on top of each other. So as you can imagine, if you intend to play with this at all, the paint's pretty much going to come off almost immediately, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm not sure if doing them up in stickers would have really helped, because obviously if you rub those up too much, they will also peel off or the color will fade. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place sort of thing. And the last accessory is this little piece here, which is pretty interesting. So this gap in the middle is for you to stick the beam rifle on it. And then on either side, you can take off the shield connector here and plug this on, and then you can plug this side into the back of the backpack into the hole here. So you can store all of the weapons onto the kit at the same time, which is a really nice touch. Here's the final spin, and you'll notice today that there's no shot of this crouching, and the reason for that is because it simply can't. The thighs are too short and the lower legs are just too long. Unfortunately, the hips also don't have enough mobility in them to compensate for the height difference when one leg is on the ground and the other one is bent. So when you try to do it, it just sort of falls over. That's not to say that the articulation is useless, but you will find it pretty challenging to get this into any good ground pose because of the lack of mobility in the legs in general. The ankles, with their limited mobility as you saw earlier, is a particular contribution to the problem. And that said, the finished kit, in my opinion, does look pretty good, and I actually enjoyed building this a lot more than I expected to. When this first came out in 2012, I wasn't particularly impressed with it, given that it was a SEED high grade, and given all of the bad things that I had already seen of the line when it first started. I wasn't exactly tempted, but now that I've actually tried it, it's not too bad, I gotta say. The color separation and the articulation could be better, and as a matter of fact, for a lot of other kits released around this time, they were better. We had the Gundam Age kits that were coming out around this time that were basically breaking the limits of our expectations in color separation for high grades, but the SEED line stayed relatively static. But in the end, you still have this kit that has pretty good proportions, a decent amount of mobility, and the included decals really do help make it pop. So that's it for this review. If you do like this kit, feel free to pick it up. Just keep in mind that to make it look the best it can, you do need to put some work into it. That aside, Happy New Year, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.